Namaskar. Garbh Sanskar and Evidence Based Science. What I was doing, I'm a plastic surgeon. For last 35 years, I've been doing plastic surgery, lots of complex surgery, cosmetic surgery, and even the hair transplant. And for last few years, I'm working on this Garbh Sanskar concept or the Garbh Sanskar program. Let us see, I was doing this, reimplanting bilateral hand, reimplanting an arm at this level and making it functional, reimplanting a phallus of a boy, a penis of a boy, and making a new phallus or a penis in a boy who was not having from birth, means absence of birth, aphalia, severely crushed limb because of the Ganna machine, crushing, shortening and implanting after 2 inches of shortening and making it functional, and implanting of thumb, severely crushed, amputate at multiple level hand. 16 hours I took to reimplant this. We have written chapters and contributed as editor in more than 12 international books. One of the book got translated in Chinese. This was on demand. Me and my wife, Dr. Seema, has written more than 23 research papers, mainly innovations and the research. And now this book on Garbh Sanskar ka Vigyan is going to come very soon. We are in the process of making International Association of Garbh Sanskar. Divya Santan Prakalp we have started, and this International Association of Garbh Sanskar is an effort, a global initiative to standardize and promote scientific Garbh Sanskar practices. That's my final aim. But the question is why I am switching to Garbh Sanskar awareness or Garbh Sanskar program. Today we know what the social system is, and we can predict that what is going to be tomorrow. Today most of the parents says that our kids do not listen. Excelling in career is not a success. The success is holistic. The Generation G, very commonly we are listening this word. Kids born after 97 and up to 2012, they are called as Generation G. They are facing a lot of mental health problem, health concern, anxiety, depression, suicidal tendency, agitative behaviors. And those who are born from 2013, Generation Alpha, they are mainly dependent on the social media and their screen time is too much. The feedback from the speech therapist, 1 out of 10 children, he says, are facing the problem of speech. They are not able to speak. And feedback from most of the teachers, they say the students are unable to make even a single sentence. Their creative power is losing. Autism spectrum disorder, I think we all know, and various learning disabilities, incidence is more than 3%. Then teenage suicidal tendency, 6 to 7%, and severe suicidal ideas in more than 17% teens said once in their life they think of committing the suicide. The main cause of all this is careless in pregnancy, improper diet, harmful substances consumption during pregnancy like alcohol, too much of caffeine, nicotine, tobacco, strained marital life, couples are fighting, family circumstances and environmental pollution. These all are responsible for this. Fetal alcohol syndrome, I tell you, a very dreaded complication a fetus can have. The mental learning abilities, severe congenital anomalies, shrunken brain, and lot of facial deformities. You can see here the brain of a normal person and a brain of a baby who has consumed alcohol. His brain is shrunken, lot of other anomalies, spinal tube defects and all that. It's not that we as a whole are not working on this issue. We are working. But when? When the baby comes in our lap. It's already very late. It's just like a potter make a pot and we buy it and we just can't change the shape and the size of the pot, we just can fill the water. Similarly, when the baby come in our lap, maximum development, mental, cognitive, learning abilities, and his physical development has already been taken place. Everything has shaped already. We don't have much choice to change. So let's understand why and how it is affecting and what are the factors contributing to the fetal development. The most important thing is the parental chromosomes, the genetic, from what they get from their parents, mother and father, and the soul. This is little spiritual, some may not believe on it, but the consciousness, the soul, with its previous birth karma, we call the chitta-vritti. The soul is encircled or tied up or caged by the previous birth's various tendencies. We call them chitta-vritti or the previous birth karma. Then the nutrition and the behavior, circumstances, and what's going on in the mother, what she is thinking, how she behaves, what she thinks, what she eats before conception and during the conception has a lot more impact on the baby. Father and the family environment surrounding also impact the baby brain development and the physical development. These are the various factors affecting the neuro and the overall development of the baby. I am not enumerating here, but I'll tell them one after another. There's a famous magazine in New York, the Times magazine. There was one article, why your DNA is not your destiny. Your genes are not your destiny. Krishna also says in Gita, your karma is everything. You do karma will make your fate. So you are not dependent entirely on the genetics of what you got from your parents. But if you change your karma, you can change your fate as well. So the behavior of the genes can be changed by the epigenetics. To understand the scientific basis of Garbh Sanskar, we need to go in the detail of the epigenetics. I'll say Garbh Sanskar is synonymous to the word of modern science, that is epigenetics. So let me make you understand in detail. Epigenetics, this word was given by Weddington in 1942. Epigenetics literally mean over or above the genes or the genetics. It refers to the external modifications to DNA that turns gene on and off without changing the DNA sequence. Instead, they affect how the cell reads. Means without changing the internal configuration of the DNA or the protein molecules, it changes the behavior, means the phenotypic expression, means how the genes is going to behave, or what symptom or what characteristic feature an organism will have because of the genes is the epigenetics. Some molecule gets attached to the DNA and it changes the behavior or expression of the gene, that is the epigenetics. And these changes are inheritable, means from one generation to another generation they go. To make it understand very simple, a boy is there, if he remains with good friends, then he become a good boy. But if he remains with the bad friends, he become a bad boy. Boy inside is the same, but his behavior, his character, his sanskar has changed because of the external environment. That is absolutely the epigenetics. We have 37 trillions of the cell in our body, and there are more than 200 types of cells we have. You understand that every cell has got same chromosome. Then how one cell can make bone, muscle, skin, heart, lung, liver? Same chromosome. The answer is, when a cell has to make a heart, the genes which are responsible for making the heart are switched on, rest of the genes get switched off. When a cell wants to make a bone, the gene responsible for making the bone will be switched on, rest of the genes will be switched off. So that particular cell behavior depends on what genes is switched on and what are the other genes which are switched off, not working. So to make it understand, let's think that a man is there, but he has got different roles to play. Like he can be a son. So when he is with his father, he behaves like a son. But when he can be a father, when he is with his own son, then he play a role of a father, and he can be a husband and he can be a brother. So the same person has got different role to play, depends upon with whom he is there. That is the epigenetics. So you understand this. There are few external protein molecules which can affect the epigenetics, means like the methyl and acetylation. These are the few molecules which gets attached to the tails of the DNA. DNA has got external tails, and these molecules like methyl group or acetyl groups, they gets attached to that and they changes the behavior of the DNA, but they do not enter inside the DNA. But by getting attached outside, they can change the behavior. Like if a house is there, inside is very beautiful, but lot of debris, lot of trees, bad trees with lot of horns are outside the home, the house look bad, but inside the house is good. That's how we presume that this house may be bad, but not so. So these are the little complex things to understand, but you understand simple that by getting attached some of the molecule to a DNA or a chromosome or a gene, the behavior of the gene can be changed without changing their internal structure. There are lots of studies. When I was given this subject of Garbh Sanskar, I read only the epigenetics, and in 3 days I understood what this Garbh Sanskar is, where it is acting. This is the very good study. The mechanism of oxidative stress means the infertility. Very commonly we are facing this problem. Environmental factors, lifestyle, stressful life, cellular process, these all causes the oxidative stress on the cell, and they lead to methylation, acetylation, and non-coding RNA effect through that mechanism. They lead to decrease in sperm motility, abnormal oocyte maturation, defect in embryo development, PCOD, endometriosis, and azoospermia. We are facing the problem of infertility. Why? The contributing factor is mainly the lifestyle, toxins, pollution, lot of stress, lot of fight between the parents, means the couple. These all are leading to the infertility, and we think there is something problem inside us, but it is the problems at the higher level. Similarly, from womb to mind, this is another beautiful article, means the parental epigenetic influences on the mental health disorder of the baby. Maternal stress, infection, nutrition, and environmental exposure leads to DNA methylation, histone modification, non-coding RNA, and ultimately contributing to the risk of psychiatric and neurodevelopmental disorders such as schizophrenia, autism spectrum disorder, depression, and anxiety. The epigenetic DNA damage and the nutrients with one carbon metabolism, folate, B12, B6, riboflavin, methionine regulate the DNA methylation. That's why it said nutrition is very important. Nutrition provides these molecules. These molecules affect the genes, and genes ultimately affect the neurodevelopment and overall development of the baby. So nutritional deficiency, how they are playing a role? Through the process of epigenetics. Biotin regulates the transcription of gene encoding cytokinin, oncogenes, glucose metabolism, and the hemostasis. Now this is a neurodevelopment. I won't be able to go in the detail, but you understand how the brain works. First there is the cell, neurons formation, then the cell travels in the brain, go to the destined places like the cortex, that is called as migration. Then the cell makes the connection, that is called as synaptogenesis, and then there is a myelination, that those cells get insulated, they get coated by some fat sheath, and then there is a synaptic pruning. This is a very important word, you must understand what is synaptic pruning. Those who are in agriculture, they understand what is the meaning of pruning. For a better development of a plant or a tree, we cut unwanted branches so that the healthy branches grows. That is called as the pruning. And the word used in neuroscience is use it or lose it. The thing is, brain during the development makes millions and millions of the cells. The cells will remain active which are being used or which has been occupied through the various learning process. But cells which have not been used or which has not been occupied by the signals, you will lose them. So the information given to the baby, teaching given to the baby, education given to the baby, the cells will remain active, makes more stronger synapses, connection in between the nerves, and that works. So 5 to 12 months, 20th week of intrauterine life, there is a rapid formation of neurons. We need anulom, vilom, and all these things are given. I will not go in the detail. Maternal nutrition deficiency of DHA, iron, iodine, zinc, folate, B12, these all can affect the neurodevelopment. So Sattvic diet, rich in ghee, milk, nuts, fruits, vegetables, and herbs like Brahmi, Shankpushpi, Ashwagandha promotes the brain growth. That's why during the first trimester we advise for a Sattvic diet having all these things. It is very commonly said in Ayurveda and in our Vedas that jaisa khaoge ann vaisa banega man. The food, your mind, your behavior, your sanskar depends on what type of food you eat. That affects your behavior, pattern, thinking and all that. Because when the food in a coarse portion, it becomes a feces. In a middle portion, it makes the flesh, and small means the finest portion of the food gets converted into the mind. Similarly, the water, finest portion makes the prana. Similarly, fat and oil in smallest portion, thinnest portion, sukshma portion, it makes the speech. So very common example, you can make butter from the milk, you can make cheese, you can make curd, you can make paneer, and you can make the ghee out of one milk. Because we have changed the sanskar of the milk, so we get the different product. Similarly, the sanskar is, we know a very common story of Hiranyakashyap and Prahlad. Hiranyakashyap was the son of Diti. Diti was the wife of Rishi Kashyap. Rishi Kashyap had two wives, Diti and Aditi. Diti was the mother of the devils, Danav, Rakshas. Because the Diti had the bad natures, so she gave the devils. And Hiranyakashyap was the son of Diti, but the Prahlad was the son of Hiranyakashyap and his wife Kayadu. Kayadu did not want to have a devil in his family, so he contacted Narad Muni, and Narad Muni gave her the sanskar, and the Bhakt Prahlad came on the earth. This is another paper showing the maternal factors, how the epigenetics changes the uncontrolled diabetes, obesity, thyroid, high cortisol level adversely affect the neuron formation. Malnutrition, high fat diet, late parental age, diabetes, thyroidism, obesity, viral infection, bacterial infection can lead to the epigenetic changes, and the baby can have various developmental problems, congenital anomalies. These all, and this is a good research paper. Maternal emotion and the mental state, the scientific. The chronic stress induces the cortisol level, impairing the brain wiring and immunity. Positive emotion boosts the serotonin, oxytocin, melatonin, endorphins, that affects positively the cognitive development of the baby. The Garbh Sanskar, Matra Bhav, what the mother thinks, mother's feeling, directly shapes the baby's chittavrati, what the baby mind will have the impressions. Calmness, faith and joy are the key. Physical activity like regular moderate exercise, pranayama, improves the placental circulation and oxygen delivery to the tissue. Garbh Sanskar, yoga, deep breathing exercise, meditation enhances the vitality and calm both mother and the baby. This is a complex diagram to understand the mechanism. Stress, microbial gut of the mother, any other infection, they all leads to glucocorticoids, cortisol, stress hormones. These stress hormone in the blood, I want to make you understand how the cell-to-cell talk goes on in our body. What is the language of the body? Whatever you think, whatever you are getting through the eyes or various 5 your external senses, they get converted into 2 type of language. One is the electrical language, means electrical impulses or the waves. Another is the molecular language, means these are the 2 language on which our brain cells works, whole of the body works. Muscle gets signals from the brain through the electricity, or the part of the organs gets the molecules in the form of hormones and enzymes, and they react to that. So the language in the body is the electrical impulses or the waves, and another is the molecular languages. So these molecules goes to the placenta and then to the baby, and they affect the development of the baby. And initial phase of development, these steroid hormones, means the cortisol, stress hormones, causes the constriction of the blood vessels, leading to decrease in the blood circulation. If the blood circulation is reduced, then the oxygen supply and nutrient supply will be reduced to the baby. That will affect the development of the baby, leading to the underweight or pre-birth delivery of the baby. And cortisol and these stress hormones all affect the limbic development and the overall development of the baby, negatively impacting the structural and the behavioral development, and ultimately finally affecting their learning abilities or the cognitive developments. So whatever the mother thinks, it responds in the form of molecules. Molecules through the blood circulation reaches to the baby, and they affect the baby, those all molecules. So nothing goes waste. Anything which is going in the mind of the mother, responding to the external stimuli, will impact the thinking process of the mother. That will produce some chemical and neurological changes, and those changes will directly respond to the baby development. That is the science. It's a very common and famous example how the stress given to a mouse, his black hair get converted to the white hair. Then the scientific basis of pranayama, dharana, dhyan, meditation, the mother does pranayama, dharana or dhyan. The impact is that the cortisol, stress hormone, is drastically reduced, and the positive hormones or happy hormone, dopamine, serotonin, melatonin, oxytocin increases. This all reduces the heart activity, increases the breathing activity, means the better oxygenation. This leads to a reduced labor sequence discomfort. Very thing, a mother who remains calm, quiet during her pregnancy, she will deliver normal. Why? Because when you are in a state of stability, calmness, or you do regular meditation, yoga, pranayama, dhyan, then what happens? It increases the amount of oxytocin and decreases the amount of cortisol and adrenaline. You know, when a mother is inside the hospital, many times you listen that she is given the injection of oxytocin. What is that oxytocin? That oxytocin induces the labor pain, contraction of the uterus, helping in the expulsion of the baby or the normal delivery. So a mother who is calm, quiet, because of meditation, dhyan, yoga and all that, her oxytocin level increases, adrenaline decreases. This leads to a normal delivery. And it has been found, many data are there, 80 to 90% women who are doing yoga and meditation, they deliver normal baby. The sad reason is the scientific. Then mindfulness, the art of living in the present state. Again the same thing, when you are in a state of mindfulness, no anxiety, you are just watching, just the Krishna says, Drashta bhav se aap dekhe. Do not react what is happening, just watch. This is very important thing for a mother, because a mother cannot have all the time a very, very suitable, favorable, friendly environment around her. So if she keeps herself stable, means धृष्टा भाव से यदि सारी क्रियाओं को बाहर को देखती है और अपने मन में किसी भी प्रकार का चित्त में परिवर्तन, ये विचलन नहीं लाती है, अपने आप को एंजाइटी में नहीं लाती है, तो उसके हार्मोन्स स्ट्रेस हार्मोन्स विल रिड्यूस और जो फ्रेंडली हार्मोन्स है उनकी मात्रा बढ़ेगी, उससे उसका ब्लड प्रेशर विल रिमेन स्टेबल, हार्ट एक्टिविटी विल रिड्यूस, बेटर ऑक्सीजनेशन विल बी देयर. Another important thing is that the mental state at the time of conception is very important. Very famous example is the Dhritarashtra, Pandu and the Vidur. We all know these all three were the children of Ambika, Ambalika and Dasi Parishrami Devi, produced from the Niyog Kriya done with the Rishi Vedvyas. After seeing the Vedvyas, Ambika got scared, she closed her eyes, and the result came in was the Dhritarashtra. And Ambalika got scared, she became pale, and she produced the baby who was having the rog of Pandu, called as Pandu. And Parishrami Devi, who was the Dasi, she knew the importance of this Niyog, and she knew how great is the Rishi Vedvyas. She surrendered herself, and as a result of that, she gave birth to a very Mahatma, that is the Vidur. So that's how the mental state, environment at the time of conception is very, very important. We know when the father gives a bed to her mother at the time of marriage, he knows that the family in which his daughter is going is not poor. They can have the bed, new bed, but he gives, because the concept is their daughter with her husband, they are going to start a great journey. They are going to make a new progeny, new baby. So they are going to bring down the soul. That's a very great samadhi or very great thing they are going to do it. So such activity should be started on a pure bed, so a fresh bed is given. But what's happening nowadays for the honeymoon, we visit to the various unknown places, the bed we don't know how many times, who has used, in one environment was used, what activities were done. So those negative energy remains with that bed, and those energy will affect the conception. Even Lord Krishna, we know, a god, super, he had to do 12 hours of penance in Badri Parvat to have Pradyum, a great soul, a brave child. Even the Lord Krishna and Rukmani did that. I call it very commonly the Garbhavastha as a Yoga Avastha, Atha Garbha Yoga. And the mother I call is the Garbha Yogini, because she is absorbed in a penance and meditate, inspired by the feeling of well-being of the baby in the womb. She restrains herself. The yoga is not only the means of purity of the body, but also of the mind and the soul. And when I read, I did masters in yogic science also. So you all also understand the Patanjali Ashtanga Yoga concept. The Ashtanga Yoga concept is the Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pranayam, Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi, all these. So if you want a baby who is healthy, just do Yam, Niyam and Asana. If mother is doing regularly, even then she can have a healthy baby. Best way, pranayama, further enlightenment of the baby, more healthier, more intelligent baby. And if she does pratyar, dharana, dhyan and samadhi, depending on how much degree, how much sincerity, she can have the divine baby. So just following even the Patanjali Ashtanga Yoga, just the knowledge of Patanjali Yoga, you can practice the Garbh Sanskar and can have a divine baby. Mummy brain, this is a very, very, very important thing. When I was reading, I was amazed what the nature does, what the mother mind is, what the power out to the mother are given. Mummy brain, during the pregnancy, what happens? The estrogen level increases even up to the 300 times. In the brain, alpha and theta waves are produced. And this is the state of mind which a yogi attain after doing the penance or samadhi, tapasya of many years, maybe many births. His brain becomes, and his brain develops the alpha and the theta waves. But a mother, just by having a fetus inside the womb, she becomes that. Her brain waves are alpha waves and the theta waves. And these are the waves which are responsible for the creation, more emotional state, emotional bonding. That's why the mother is mother. We call it, a mother cannot be replaced, because her mind is creative mind. Her mind is loving. Her mind is caring. She has a lot of love for the baby. She develops strong bonding. These are the hormones responsible. And why the God has given this power to the mother? Because the mother is inviting a soul. Mother is creating an entire new human, which nobody can do it. No God can do it. Only the mother can do it. So that is why the reason the God, the nature has given this power, this creation, this love, affection, care to the mother. And the mother is just like a big saint. So the mother, if she uses this power positively in a creation, in putting a good impression, sanskara, she can do it very effectively. So mother should realize how much power she has been given by the God and how she can utilize this power. Sanskrit effect, the Sanskrit evidence by the James Hartzell, he has given, a lot of research has been done, studies are there, you can go and Google it. The study was done and the result was those who learn the Sanskrit or do the rhymes regular, their brain size, cortical size increases by the 10%. The size of the hippocampus, which is responsible for the memory and cognitive abilities, that increases 10% in size related to the other part of the brain. I call a sannyasi and a couple who is bringing up a progeny are same. Sannyasi or a saint does all penance, yog, dhyan, samadhi, tapasya for his enlightenment, for his liberation. While couple does the activity of producing baby is also much more than that. They are inviting a soul and they are creating a baby to bring that soul and the baby physically on the earth. So it's not less than that. And the asan on which the sannyasi does the tapasya and the bed on which the couple perform this act of bringing the progeny down is the same, and they are pure. That is the reason father of a girl or a daughter give a new bed to the couple. So yath garbhani bhavati tath garbho bhavati. माँ जैसा सोचती है वैसा ही गर्भ होगा. Scientifically, the fetus perceives sound, light, touch, rhymes by 24 to 28 of weeks. The sensory enrichment supports the brain. So whatever the mother is getting from the external stimuli, it goes to the baby and the baby's affects. So this is how you watch this video, very beautiful. External music is going on and the baby inside is trying to sing the song. You can watch the baby opens the mouth, closes the mouth as if like the baby wants to sing the song. So baby is trying to sing the song inside the womb, means responding to the external music. That's an amazing. So don't think whatever you are speaking, the baby is not listening and not responding. Now listen this.
Researchers took 100 pregnant women 32 to 36 weeks and took 4D ultrasound scans to see how the babies would react when the mothers are given different flavors. These women were given capsules filled with either carrot or kale powder. Fetuses exposed to the carrot flavor showed laughter.
When sweet, the baby becomes happy. When mother is eating something sweet, tasty, baby is responding and he smile. And mother eats some bitter things, the baby doesn't like it. That's how the baby is responding what the mother is eating. And see, the baby is crying inside the womb because the mother and father are fighting. Similarly, see, the baby is getting irritated inside the womb because the mother is smoking. This is really so dangerous. If mother is smoking, then how badly the baby feels inside. This is the picture taken from 4D sonography. These are the various phases, their responses, what a baby is responding to external stimuli in the womb. Very commonly we listen that Rishi gives some curse or sometime to give some power because of some doing a lot of penance. So how does the water has? And we commonly used to keep our water, this matka, in the kitchen, and kitchen used to have the door, but nowadays the matka is kept outside, open kitchens are there. Because why? Our ancestors knew the concept that water has the memory, water has the consciousness, whatever is going on outside, the water perceived it and retain with it as a memory. So this is the Masaru Emoto, he did the experiment on water consciousness. Now you listen this. Water is exposed to different type of music, sounds. If the water is exposed to love, affection, he makes a beautiful crystals. When bad words, then evil, he makes bad crystals. This is the thank you, and this is the eternal. So water has got the consciousness. When we go to the temple, Pujari gives us Charanamrit, because the entire day of the penance that got stored, those worships, positive energy that water receives. Maternal thoughts and pattern, subconscious emotion affects the hormonal secretion, influencing the fetal temperament. Nowadays it is thought that our DNA is internet. It's an internal internet. Many times we have seen, if we are remembering our friend or loving one, he or she calls us, we get immediately call, or they comes in. Because this is called extrasensory perception, our DNA sends the photos, the message to her or his DNA, they receives it, respond it, either they call you or they come to you. So there is a scientific basis. So whatever you are thinking has got electromagnetic energy, quantum energy, this is all transmitted. There's another concept of morphic resonance imaging, this is very important, and Robert Sheldrake gave this concept. Every species, object, organism, human, has got an electromagnetic field around it. So whatever they are thinking, doing, that gets stored in the surrounding, in the form of magnetic resonance. And the baby inside the womb or outside gets learning from that external atmosphere. That's why very commonly we say कि आज की हवा ही बिगड़ गई है. Baby without teaching learns, because that external environment has got all those lessons, all those things in the form of waves, that is called magnetic resonance, and the baby receive. That's why हमारे घर पे कहा जाता था बुरा मत सोचो, बुरा मत बोलो, अच्छे बुरे चित्र घर के अंदर मत लाओ, बुरी आवाजें मत करो, टीवी के ऐसे सीन मत देखो, क्योंकि अल्टीमेटली वो when the scene closes, even that the energy of those bad things remains in the house and they are being absorbed by every family member. So that is the Rupert Sheldrake gave this concept of magnetic resonance. Prayer has got a lot of impact. It has been done, proved by a very famous study done in the Columbia University. Prayer was done for the mother who received IVF. The group of mother for whom the prayer was done, their success rate, conception rate was twice than the group for which the prayer was not done. So prayer doesn't go waste. Prayer is extremely effective, powerful tool to make the changes. Prayer, how the prayer works. Let's understand, if you go in a forest, deep forest, and you walk on a same place, you make a pagdandi, you make a way. All the grasses stops growing, all the thorns and everything goes out, and you get a clear pagdandi. Similarly, when you are praying every day, similarly you are doing Aarti every day, when you are doing Hanuman Chalisa, you are doing Rudrabhishek and all that, those positive words every day makes a new synaptic connections in the brain, that is called as the rewiring of the brain. And those qualities, those things are imbibed, produced in your body. That's how the prayer is effective. It has a neuronal connection. There is a new synaptic formation is there, that is called as brain rewiring, and you start thinking and working accordingly your prayer. So role of reticular activating system, this is very effective also. Many times we think that whatever we are thinking, like we want to buy a car, when we go on the street, we see only the cars. It's not that all of a sudden somebody has sent all the cars to see you. The cars were there also. Other things are all there. But your brain is observing only the car. Because there is a reticular activating system at the brain stem, that is the gateway, that is a filter. When brain wants something, it will spot those things, events, person, objects which you are looking for. So if your brain is thinking positive things, you will get all positive signal, positive people, positive objects around your circumstances, and you will receive that. If your brain is thinking negative, something bad things, many times we say, मैंने बुरा सोचा है, बुरा बुरा हो रहा है, कल मैंने अच्छा सोचा था तो अच्छा है. Because the brain has got a filter, एक गेट है, एक रास्ता है. जब आप अच्छा मांगना चाहते हो, कुछ अच्छा करना चाहते हो, when you are thinking something positive, brain will send only the positive information and it will spot only those positive events which you are looking for. So the prayer, how your positive impact, how your dreams works, what you think, you get those things in your life. So repeatedly focus on a goal or affirmation. Reticular activating system begins to spot the related opportunities to the environment. Om, there are a lot of research paper. Om has got lots of scientific evidence. It impacts on the brain. Various studies has been done. Then I come to the Atra Pinde Tatra Brahmande, means जो आपके शरीर में है वो ब्रह्मांड में है, और जो ब्रह्मांड में है वो आपके शरीर में. So you are a microcosmo. आप एक छोटा ब्रह्मांड है, माइक्रोकॉस्मो है. That's how it is related with the these. This is circadian rhythm, balancing your Panch Mahabhut and to the Vat, Pitta, Kapha. See, this is when I was reading, I was really amazed. In the allopathic science, it's not. But in Ayurveda, it's a great concept that you can treat and cure the disease process at cellular level just by controlling your Panch Mahabhut. Because Ayurveda says that disease has got three things: Vat, Pitta and Kapha dosh. Vat dosh can be corrected or balanced by controlling the air and the space, these two Mahabhut. Pitta can be controlled by fire and the water, and the Kapha dosha can be controlled by earth and water. This is amazing concept, I tell you. Those who are here sitting Ayurvedic doctors, I tell you, they are fortunate. They are blessed. Many times I feel and regret why I did not become an Ayurvedic doctor, probably in the next birth. Because Ayurveda is a science which can cure the disease at the cellular level. But in allopathy, most of the disease symptoms are being controlled. They don't cure the disease, but Ayurveda can do. And just by modifying the Panch Mahabhut, you can control your Tridosh. Circadian rhythm is very important. Somehow, if the mother has got different circadian rhythms, means which most of the couples, most of the mothers are having, they are awake in the night, sleeping in the day. They sleep at 3 a.m. in the midnight and get up at 12. It disturbs her melanin secretion. It disturbs the entire her circadian rhythm. And disrupted circadian rhythm means आपकी गर्भनी दिनचर्या, खाते वक्त आप पीते हैं, पीते वक्त खाते हैं, सोते वक्त आप जागते हैं, जागते वक्त आप सोते हैं. इससे आपका पूरा का पूरा बॉडी बैलेंस डिस्टर्ब हो जाता है, क्योंकि आपकी योर बॉडी इज वर्किंग एज पर द सोलार. Your body is dependent on the solar energy, sun. Your body inside clock activities are affected by the sun. So if you disturb that your body activity, sun is not going to change for you, so your internal body system will be disturbed. This is a very experiment done by Kyonachi. A rat, he had a normal circadian rhythm. Her baby were the normal, but a rat having the disrupted circadian rhythm, her babies were obese. So disturbed circadian rhythm can have the various diseases, obesity, diabetes, hypertension, cardiac disease, asthma, and which we find nowadays in the baby, because the disturbed rhythm, circadian rhythm of the mother. Now what to do? Very simple thing I tell. A simple concept of following the Garbh Sanskar is the baby is in the lap of the mother, not inside the womb. whatever mother is watching, listening, eating, thinking, baby is also doing the same. So the mother should not do anything which she doesn't want that her baby should see or do it or listen it or eat it. She shouldn't do that. There is a very simple concept of गर्भ संस्कार कि जो आप अपने बच्चे के साथ नहीं चाहते वो आप ना करें, जो आप सोचते हैं आपके बच्चे के लिए अच्छा वही आप करें. So this is another thing I asked. Built when you are making your house, you took 2 to 3 years to plan. You consulted many specialties, many specialists, many agencies. But when you were about to bring your baby, what you did? Either it was incidental, accidental, without any planning, the baby came in. You didn't plan, so the baby came by its own. So if you plan a baby properly, you design a baby yourself, you think you with your family, your life partner, what type of baby you are looking for, then you work on that, consult various specialists, what they can do for having those qualities in their baby. You will have those qualities in their baby as you all those things you had in your house. The things which you did for your house, you did not do for your baby. So if you do for your baby, those qualities will be in your baby. This is a divine baby concept. I am not going in the concept. I have made it this, worked a lot on this, how you can have a super baby or divine baby in your family. My final objective, my end point is that if I can be instrumental in bringing one of these like Vivekananda, Abhimanyu, like Adi Guru Shankaracharya or a Ram, Buddha, Shivaji, Maharana Pratap or any scientist, J.C. Bose, this life will be successful. And for that reason I am here. We are in the process of making International Association of Garbh Sanskar, the global initiative to standardize and promote the scientific Garbh Sanskar practice. I made this International Association of Garbh Sanskar.com website. This is the QR code. Please scan and become the member of this. We are in the process. We are going to do the formal inauguration and lots of activities are going on. I want to develop this as a science, a protocol, a systematic science that should go in the society, not as a ritual or not as a Rudivadi or Sanskaro ke roop mein, but as a science. It should be given to the society as a science, which is actually it is a science. Then the society will follow it, and I am for it. Me with my wife and my other friends are working on this. Listen what a baby is asking to her mother.
तूने मुझे अपनी कोख में जगह दी, तेरे ही कारण मैं पृथ्वी पर आऊंगा माँ. इसका ऋण मैं कैसे चुकाऊंगा मुझे नहीं पता माँ, क्योंकि मेरा निर्माण तो तुझे ही करना है. माँ मैं जानता हूँ मेरे आने से तुझे काफी कष्ट हो रहा है, लेकिन मैं भी कष्ट में हूँ माँ. मुझे एक बार जन्म लेने की माँ, मुझे बार बार जन्म लेने की इस चक्र से मुक्ति मिली माँ, और ये तू ही दिला सकती है. क्यों? तू सरस्वती है, तू लक्ष्मी है, तू दुर्गा है. माँ जब तेरा दिल धड़कता है तो मेरा दिल धड़कता है. जब तू सांस लेती है तब मैं सांस लेता हूँ. जब तू मुस्कुराती तो मुस्कुराता हूँ. जब तू रोती है तब मैं रोता हूँ. जब तुझे कष्ट होता है तब मुझे कष्ट होता है. माँ मैं नहीं चाहता वो सब तू देख जो तुझे कष्ट देता है, वो सब कुछ तू सुन जो तुझे बुरा लगता है. माँ मुझे वो दिव्य दृश्य दिखा जिससे मैं जन्म मरण के चक्र से मुक्त हो सकूं. माँ मुझे ईश्वर के दर्शन करा, मेरे कानों को ईश्वर के भजन सुना. मुझे वो भयानक रूप न दिखा जिसमें भाई भाई को मार रहा है, मेरी बहनों के साथ अत्याचार हो रहा है, मेरी बहनों को काट में फ्रिज में रखा जा रहा है. माँ मैं मेरे समाज को इन सब से मुक्त करने के लिए तेरी कोख में आ रहा हूँ. मुझे मेरे शरीर को इतना शक्तिशाली बना दे कि मैं महाराणा प्रताप बन सकूं, मैं शिवाजी बन सकूं, मैं रानी बाई की झांसी बन सकूं. माँ मुझे सरस्वती जैसा ज्ञान दे. मुझे इतना ज्ञान दे कि मैं आज के समाज को अंधकार से प्रकाश की ओर ला सकूं. और माँ जब तू खाती है तो मैं वही तो खाता हूँ, जो तू पीती है तो वही तो मैं पीता हूँ, जो तू सुनती है वही तो मैं सुनता हूँ. इसलिए माँ वो सब कुछ तू न खा. कुछ देर अच्छा लगता है लेकिन तुझे कष्ट होता है, ये मैं अंदर बैठा हुआ देख रहा हूँ, और उससे मुझे भी कष्ट होता है. अपने पास खाने के लिए बहुत सारी दिव्य भोजन है, गाय है, गाय माता हमें दूध देती है, दही देती है, घी देती है। वृक्ष हमें अच्छे अच्छे फल देते हैं माँ। हे माँ, मुझे सूर्य जैसा तेज दे, चंद्रमा जैसी निर्मलता दे, माँ अहिल्याबाई जैसा करुण हृदय दे, राम जैसी धर्म निष्ठा हो, कृष्ण जैसी चतुरता हो, विवेकशीलता हो और मीरा की भक्ति दे माँ मुझे। ये समय तेरे कष्ट का है, लेकिन ये कुछ समय ही तो बचा है माँ। मैं तेरे से वादा करता हूँ कि जब मैं इस पृथ्वी पर आऊंगा तो मैं तेरे सारे कष्टों का हर लूंगा। तेरे सारे कष्ट मेरे कष्ट होंगे, तेरी सारी दुविधाएं, सारी परेशानियां मेरी अपनी होगी माँ। मैं अपने परिवार को सुखी, संपन्न और समृद्ध बनाऊंगा। मैं अपने माता पिता, दादा दादी, नाना नानी का नाम रोशन करूंगा। मैं अपने समाज को समृद्धि की ऊंचाई पर ले जाऊंगा। मेरे देश को विकसित करूंगा, समृद्ध बनाऊंगा, शक्तिशाली बनाऊंगा माँ। बस थोड़ा सा कष्ट और इसे सहन कर ले माँ, बस इसे प्यार से बिता दे। क्यों न इस समय को हम दोनों आनंद से गुजारें माँ, इसे सहन कर ले। मैं शीघ्र तेरी कोख से बाहर आ रहा हूँ माँ। ऐ माँ,
माँ तू तप कर, तपस्या कर, मैं वही बनूंगा जो तू चाहती है। मैं तेरे सपनों को साकार करूंगा माँ।
नमस्कार, वंदे मातरम।